Right, record. Okay. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to day 2 of our Bedtime Bliss week. We are covering all things sleep and calming and whatever else happens to come out as we explore the beauty and versatility of essential oils in our daily lives. So this morning we have the one and only Deb Bruce, who I have had the pleasure of knowing for quite a few years now, thanks to essential oils, and yet another example of a friendship that would not have been able to occur had I not had the oily bridge to pass over and offer to someone else. So thank you for joining me, Deb, this morning and sharing a little bit of your wisdom around one of your family favorites. And for those of you that don't know you, could you just tell them a little bit about yourself, your beautiful family, and how long you've had essential oils in your home?
Thank you, Rachel. Thank you for having me on. I am honoured to be able to talk to you this morning about one of my favourite oils. But before I get into that, I'd like to so that everybody know that, I've been using the oils for about 5.5 years now. I would be absolutely lost without them. They came into our lives when we needed them the most. We didn't even know it yet, but they had completely changed our lives. And we've got 3 small children. We use the essential oils for absolutely everything, from food to sleep to medicine to absolutely everything. Cleaning products. I whipped up a few cleaning products last night in a few minutes. I just, use them for absolutely everything. So we'll talk a little bit about cedarwood today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that the number one thing that we have blessed is that versatility of essential oils. And one of the things I've loved watching and learning from you is just how much effort you have gone to completely overhaul, all those cornerstones in your family life. So that's been quite an incredible thing to watch over the years and very inspirational. So I know that today we're really only covering cedarwood, but if you happen to have any other hot tips, fire away, because it's a safe place to share. So cedarwood, it's a naturally warmy, herbaceous-y sort of smell that I really enjoy, and I do, to be honest, underestimate the power of this oil quite a lot. And I think a lot of us do. It just sort of slips in there. Sometimes we reach for things like balance or other blends for the properties. But tell us a little bit why you love cedarwood and how you apply it in your daily lives.
Well, a lot of people don't actually realise, but cedarwood was the OG copaiba. So before we had copaiba, we had cedarwood, we have frankincense, we have vetiver. We have these beautiful tree oils that are so versatile. When you look at a cedar tree, I mean, it's the tree of Lebanon is a cedar tree. It is a powerful, iconic tree that just gives so much from it. It is antibacterial, antimicrobial, antifungal, as all tree oils are, but being so sturdy and strong, it's got all those beautiful emotional benefits as well. Being the oil of community, it brings people together and it makes you feel calm and at peace as well. So it's got all those grounding properties as well, which I really like to have in our lives in lots of different ways. We use them in our emotional blends. We also use them in our immune supporting blends and things like that as well. So it's just got such a vast variety of properties that it can offer a family. And I love the fact that it's got such a low price point, which means that absolutely everybody can have it in their homes. In a 15 ml bottle, you get 250 drops. And a standard roller bottle, which has got the 10 mils in it, with daily use will last you about 2 to 3 months. and you only need to put 5 to 10 drops in a roller bottle. So it's a very, very, very minimal cost to be able to utilize these essential oils. I'm talking about the price point. I mean, it's $22.50 for a wholesale bottle of cedarwood. And it does almost all the same things as frankincense does for $90 a bottle.
Yeah.
So if you're thinking about, financial, the financial aspects of essential oils, and, frankincense, buying bottles and bottles of frankincense is not in your budget to do that, just know that you always have that cedarwood to fall back on, or middle of the range, you've got copaiba. They all do slightly different things, but being that they're all wood oils, they do have a lot of similarities.
That's really powerful to note as well. And I think one of the things that being, I use the analogy, I was brought up, and our generation was brought up a lot on the 2 Panadol twice a day. Like, there's that medication for that, and then that's the outcome. And don't sway from that. And I think I actually know one of the things that I'm still learning and still blown away with essential oils is the applications are unlimited, but so too are the variants of properties that you can get, and the similarities, like you just pointed out, the 3 different, I guess, stepping stones to, the father of all oils: frankincense, copaiba, and cedarwood. It's really, really, really incredible example of how everyone can have the benefits in their home. So
exactly.
what are some other ways that your family sort of surprising, or things that people might not think about that cedarwood is, helpful for?
Well, I'll go with the obvious ones first. As many of you know, I do a lot of markets, and I hear a lot of people's ailments and complaints all the time. The top ones, one of the top ones that I hear all the time is that people don't sleep well. And that is why cedarwood is in the box, not only because of its low price point, so they're able to get, multiple oils for that into one box at a reasonable price, but that cedarwood is very relaxing. I put lavender and cedarwood together in a roller blend, and they sell like absolute hotcakes. So sleep, I've got a calm blend and a stress relief blend. And those 3 sell really, really well. Everybody likes cedarwood. It's not an offensive smell. It's not strong and pungent. It's very mild of the aroma. It's a little bit more mild than frankincense, if you can imagine. You know Frankie quite well because it comes in all the kits. But cedarwood's very mild. It's very gentle on children and infants. So it's a good one to mix with lavender, or to add with your balance, or any of those types of blends. So yes, sleep is the main reason that we use cedarwood, but I also really like using it in my immune boosting blends. And I'm going to give you a few different ways to use them that you probably wouldn't have realised as well. So in an immune blend, I would mix together lemon, oregano, peppermint, cedarwood, maybe some On Guard, and you can mix all those types of things together for a beautiful immune blend and roll that up the spine, bottoms of the feet. For a child sort of 2 to 12 years of age, you'd be doing about 2 drops of each of those 5 oils into a roller ball with fractionated coconut oil, and for an adult about 5 drops. So you don't need very many drops for it to be really efficient in support for the immune system. A few things, I did a little bit of reading before this because I love to learn a bit more about the oils before I talk about them. And even though I do use cedarwood daily in our family for those couple of reasons, I really liked finding out yesterday that it's actually really good for increasing the body's natural GABA response. So GABA is a neurotransmitter, and I have a lot of people in my health coaching practice that come to me with low mood or depression, anxiety, and these types of things. And I usually try to help them with gut health, supporting their gut, and sleep and meditation, other sort of things, and food, using nutrition. But I really like the fact that you can also support your neurotransmitters and your gut health and all that sort of stuff with essential oils. We have a few that do this, a few essential oils. Citronella is another one. But cedarwood is actually one that supports the body's ability to produce more GABA. Now, GABA is a neurotransmitter that makes you feel happy and calm and helps to promote rational thought. So it helps support your prefrontal cortex in your brain, which is usually smaller or less developed in those with ADD, ADHD.
Makes sense.
So it's a brain muscle
Yeah.
that can be strengthened with meditation, slow and controlled breathing, and the use of inhalation of certain essential oils. Cedarwood is one of them. For $22.50, you can have 250 doses of brain strengthening and supportive, essential oils. So it's pretty powerful stuff. Yeah.
And that's what I mean by the endless learning. Like, I sort of, one of the people that I look to the most for, if I'm like, oh, I'm at a loss. How many times I've rang you, Deb, and said, Deb, I'm at a loss. I've tried my usual oils. And you just take it that one step deeper. There's another example of taking it one step deeper, and cedarwood for us is, aside from being a very amazing addition to a sleep blend in the diffuser, is naturally, it repels insects. And I often put in my hair blend, and I always pop a bit in my moisturizer. But, I appreciate the properties, as I do all essential oils, as I'm applying them. I think of where this has come from and how pure it is. But just knowing how effective it is in a medicinal sense makes it even just more mind-blowing. And when you put the price per drop or dose to that, wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, because people balk at that all the time. Like I said, I'm at markets all the time, and you hear the whispers as people walk past that don't even stop. They're like, oh, doTERRA, yeah, I would use essential oils, but they're just too expensive. I wish that they could just come over and have 2 seconds to talk to me so that I could ask them, what are their top 3 health, issues, and how would they feel if they didn't have them anymore? And how much would they spend if they could guarantee that they would not have them in their life anymore?
Yeah.
And people would, the answers that would come out of their mouth would be a lot more than what it would actually cost to use doTERRA essential oils.
Absolutely.
Because they just look at the total price of the whole bottle, and they don't realize that, 1 drop of peppermint oil is equivalent to 28 cups of peppermint tea. 1 dose of cedarwood is, could be equivalent to a quarter of a packet of their antidepressants, or and it's just it's really unbelievable how many people do focus on the price. So it is important to know that you can get such great benefits from the essential oils for such a low price.
And I think that first step usually is, and even if we've had essential oils, and a lot of us have especially had them but never really gone that next level deeper, or never really, we might have got them for one thing but never really looked into all the other properties and all the other uses. And that, when it's amplified like that, I think, and for myself especially, that's where my absolute joy comes back, and I'm just blown away, because I'm like, I had no idea, and it's not, I think it's so far from that initial girl that when I joined, I was petrified of not knowing enough, and therefore, because I didn't know enough, I didn't use my oils, and therefore I didn't get any results. So it was really ironic that it took being open enough to continue to be a forever student to keep using my oils, and that's one of the things that even you just said then. So reading up on it this morning, you've had another aha moment that you can apply into your service to your clients. So that's incredible. And
Absolutely.
so is there any other sort of areas that cedarwood think would surprise people in their daily life?
I was just going to say as well, because it does help so much with the brain, it's very similar to frankincense in the fact that it does really support people that have seizures and stroke. So many of you may or may not know, I've got a 9-year-old daughter, she's 10 now, 10-year-old daughter with epilepsy. She's got a rare kind of epilepsy, and even though we have a great homeopathic remedy right now, she still will have seizures until that remedy is given, and it's from the time that the remedy onwards she's seizure free. That's very, very new. So just seeing how it goes. But I really like the fact that frankincense has been really supportive of her with the seizures. But now I also have the cedarwood as well to use. Copaiba was also, it's really good for her with the ADHD. And now I know I can also use the cedarwood. So there's many different oils that we can rotate and use ongoing. I never have to worry about anything being out of stock because I have multiple things that I can use. And I love that versatility. I love the fact that more than half of the essential oils are calming. So even if you don't like lavender, you've got cedarwood, or you've got, you know, a plethora of other oils that you can use for calming purposes. You know, it's, like I said, it's good for cough and sinus issues, but being a wood oils are really good for just under the surface of the skin. So it's important when you want to support the skin, any skin issues, cuts, burns, bites, scrapes, scars, pigmentation, any of those types of things, that you pair a wood oil with a floral oil together. And that's a magic combination for the skin and supporting the skin. So a lot of people actually comment on my skin. I am blessed with good genetics in that respect. But I also add wood oils to my moisturizer. So I do add cedarwood, I do add frankincense, I do add copaiba. Since we had the blue tansy and the yarrow palm, I do once a week add that to my moisturizer or my serum. But yeah, you can add the wood oils to your moisturizer, a drop of floral oil, you know, the palmarosa even, it's a grass oil, but that's a good one as well to use in combination.
I got my hot tip for the cedarwood in the moisturizer was watching you put it in yours, and I was like, oh, never done that before. And it was an incredible, because frankincense was something that I had been using for a while, and then I thought, you know, I'll just keep using it but it was just another amazing scent. Like, it changed it up, change is as good as a holiday. So it was just really cool to see that that being just as effective. And another really interesting thing about cedarwood is that it can be used as a replacement for tea tree. If you look at the tree, it's very similar to a juniper. It's a type of cypress tree. And so when you think about what you use cypress for, what you use juniper berry for, what you use tea tree for, you can then use cedarwood for all those types of things as well. So tea tree and juniper berry, they're astringents, they're antiseptics, they're good to use for, you know, the skin, any first aid type things. So you can use cedarwood for any of your first aid type things. Like I was mentioning before, cuts, burns, bites, scrapes, grazes, those types of things. And then cypress is really good for circulation. Cypress is great for muscular aches and pains, muscular tension, those types of things. So you can also use your cedarwood. You know, a great combination for muscular aches and pains would be also your sleep blend, which is your lavender and cedarwood. So if you find that you're using your sleep blend and you're sleeping really well and you're not having that issue anymore, but you've got 3/4 of a roller left, well, there you go. You can start using it on your face. You can start using it on your muscular aches and pains. And I really love that. Like what you were saying before, a lot of people buy an oil to fix one issue. That issue is fixed. And then they're stuck with a bottle of oil that they don't know what else to use it for. So best thing to do is to jump onto your Modern Essentials app, look up that individual oil, spend 5 minutes a day when you're doing your morning business on the toilet, which is how I used to do it. You're lying.
Exactly. Everyone does it. So have a little scroll through your app, find those oils that you no longer feel like you need anymore because that ailment is no longer present in your life, and see what else you can use it for. And you'd be really surprised and blown away. Just pick 1 or 2 other things to use it for, fix those issues, and keep ticking those issues off your list.
And it's so important. And I think I was writing, you know, Clint and I have been writing a lot this week and planning and writing little planners of things we want to achieve. And I thought we sort of, and I, especially in the early days, winged it with my oils. Like I got them and I was like, oh, that worked. And then, like, you know, and I was just sort of getting pushed from here to there. And until I actually had that question asked to me, what is exactly you're trying to get through or move through or fix? or heal, all that sort of stuff. And you can actually tick that off. How incredible is it that what you first joined for, what you first bought the lavender for, is fixed? So therefore you need to keep searching, or you can keep searching for more areas. So cedarwood might have been something you used for sleep, but now how many uses? You've just cracked open the minds of all of us, how many more uses. And I think I'm pretty sure it was you or Nick, you know, when we're talking all things croup and all things, you know, winter and chest related, that it helps to break down the mucus membranes. Like cedarwood is amazing for that, in addition into our croup blend. And I was like, what? Like, I had never even considered it, because I was the usual marjoram, easy air, rosemary. And then cedarwood being so effective, and just another level of awesomeness to what was already a pretty good blend, you know, but it just helped break that barrier, that next layer.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, when you think of it as though it's very similar to frankincense, the reason it's similar to frankincense is because it's also an enhancer. So when you add cedarwood to other oils, it's going to enhance the effects of those other oils. So if you need more respiratory support, you add cedarwood to the easy air. If you need more digestive support, you can add the cedarwood to the digesten, and so on and so forth. Yeah, it not only is a base note, which for perfumes, pure fumes and things like that is going to keep that really nice and balanced and linger longer. But it's also going to help enhance the aroma and the effectiveness of the other essential oils that you pair it with. So I think it's great. It's definitely the definitely an unsung hero in our essential oil catalog. And I can't believe just how versatile it is and how low a price it is.
Yes.
There's really no excuse,
mind-blowing,
for anyone to not have cedarwood in their life. Yeah, it's,
you know, the analogy, in doubt, get Frankie out. We need to create one of them for cedarwood.
Yeah, exactly. We'll think on that. Hey, Rachel, I was really interested to read a little bit about the emotional side of cedarwood. And the reason I want to talk about that just quickly is because when I first started using essential oils, as you know, my kids were very, very sick. We'd spent years and years just basically back to back in the hospital with them. I'm not exaggerating. We literally spent a lot of time in the hospital for the first 3 years of me being a mum. For 3 or 4 years, 4 years of me being a mum was spent in the hospital. And when the oils came into my life, they very quickly made us all much healthier. I went gung-ho into making all the non-toxic sprays and all the different things in the home, and very quickly over the first 6 months or so, replaced nearly everything in our home with the non-toxic version. I just ate it all up. I just had to have it in my life. But after that time, when I realized that I hadn't had to reach for Panadol or Nurofen or Pain Stop or any of the hundreds and hundreds of dollars worth of stuff I had in my first aid kit for, 6-9 months. And the kids hadn't been sick for such a long time, and I had a remedy for everything. I started to think, like I was saying before, what else can I do with these oils? And that was when I started looking into the emotional benefits of it. And I never in a million years would have thought that Deborah Hudson or Deborah Bruce, married name, would be ever talking about emotional stuff. Yeah, well, it comes back. The reason I probably said that is because it comes back to who I am, who I've always been. Is a very scientific, factual, evidence-based person. It has to have the science fact, and emotions to me just seem so airy-fairy, woo-woo stuff. And over the last 5 years, I've been looking into them more and more and more, and obviously it's very scientific as well. But these oils have all got beautiful emotional benefits to them. They cannot be substituted. So like we were saying with the medicinal benefits of them, they can be substituted because they go in families. But with the emotion side of things, each individual oil has its own unique emotional benefits. And I really love about cedarwood that it's the oil of community. So it's an oil that you can diffuse to feel at one with the people that you're around, and all that sort of stuff, and also bring that kind of energy into your life. Can I just read a little bit out of this emotion?
Please. Yep.
So Cedarwood brings people together to experience the strength and value of community. Those in need of cedarwood struggle to form bonds within social groups. This can often be due to an overdeveloped sense of individuality. Rather than allowing themselves to be supported by family, friends, or a community, they live by excessive self-reliance. On the other hand, the individual's difficulty forming social roots may also stem from feeling disconnected and separate from the human family. Cedarwood inspires the feeling of belonging and assists the heart in opening to receive the love and support of other people. It invites the strong-willed individual to couple the strength of individuality with the supportive power of community. Now, if doTERRA was an oil, it'd be cedarwood.
Oh,
because 100%, it has just completely epitomized my journey with doTERRA. I was once that completely individual, self-reliant person that used to just be super happy to not rely on anybody, just get in, get it done on my own.
Yeah.
But through doTERRA and over the last 5 years, I have learned that I'm stronger and I'm a better person when I'm in and around people.
You make me cry. Yes.
I used to say I was not a people person. I was happier on my own.
I heard you say that quite often.
So sick of being let down and had trust issues. But oils like these make you, they just change you. They change you before you even know what they're doing. It's stealth. They just get in there and they change your brain chemistry and open you up to doing and saying and believing and experiencing different things. And it's not until later after the fact that you go in and read what it's actually, all about it, that you go, aha, that's because, I've been using this oil and that's why I'm feeling this way.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that is so powerful. I was absolutely covered in goosebumps as you were reading that. Yeah. Knowing how far, knowing and seeing and witnessing that journey for yourself has been incredibly powerful. And every single time I see that transition and I see it occurring, it just reminds me that this is so much bigger than all of us, and it's healing work. And when you said if doTERRA was an oil, it would be cedarwood, that has really hit home, like it has stuck. So that's a really, really good. You are the analogy queen. I'm waiting for your book of amazing analogies that's coming out one day. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah.
It is what it's all about. doTERRA is about community. doTERRA is about relationships. It's a essential oil business, but it is a relationships business. It is about forming relationships with yourself, knowing yourself, really knowing yourself first, coming back into that space of using your intuition, your gut feeling. It's there for a reason. Yeah. And even though when people start using essential oils, it can be annoying that it's a little bit vague and it's a little bit wishy-washy and 1-2 drops doesn't matter, or you can use this oil or that oil, doesn't matter.
Yes.
When you realize why and you really get what you and I now know, is that the oils take you on a journey. And that's what it's all about.
A lot of us are and I was none the wiser, and when I handed it to you, you were none the wiser, and it was just, that's the gift. It's like sometimes all the time, we know that when we hand someone a bottle, it's so much bigger than just what's in that bottle. It's what it's going to do, and the journey it will take you on if you're willing and open to explore every facet of that oil and what it represents. So thank you so much for sharing that. And I know that we've already been in tears once this morning, but I would like to finish with a question, one powerful question that I know will be extremely difficult but profound for you to answer. What would your life look like had doTERRA not entered your world on that gloomy day in the hospital?
Quite bluntly, my son would not be here.
Yeah. I know. Because I've never heard a mother beg and talk so raw as you were that day and that night and the next day.
Yeah. We were told he wasn't going to survive the way he was going. So, oils coming into our life right in that very moment was the biggest gift that I've ever received, and completely changed our lives, because our son is a happy, healthy 8.5-year-old boy living life to the max, plus more.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure he's above the max, but
he's above the max. He lives above the max. He lives on the other side of that line, and he wouldn't have that energy. He was, you don't ever want to see a child like that. And so it's changed our lives.
And I think that for anyone that hasn't and doesn't know Deb's story, she shares a lot of that over on her amazing page and through her life, and the transition and the transformation of her children, and in a very holistic sense, focuses on health and wellness in a way that is inspirational to anyone that follows her. So Deb, where can people, what are your pages and what are your socials so people can jump over and follow your journey and keep learning from you?
If you want to follow us day to day, I post a lot of short stories on my Instagram, which is getactive_health solutions, or if you just type in Debbie Bruce, it should come up. That's Instagram, and I do a lot in my stories. I've got highlights there. There's an Our Story highlight, so everything's compiled in that spot about all the children. I haven't done a post yet on Hayden yet, but I will. So she's quite a big, scary story, and I'm still working through that. But there's that's to come. On my Facebook page is the same, Debbie Bruce, Get Active Health Solutions, and I have a YouTube channel with a few videos on it already that I'm still working on some more.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time this morning, sharing all things Cedarwood, and as I knew it would, all things doTERRA and the beauty of the journey as a whole. We are very blessed to have you in life and health and friendship. So we love you, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks, Deb.
Thanks, Rach.